All right, let's talk about butter. I mean, who doesn't love it, right? But what if I told you that a lot of what you're buying isn't really butter at all? I've been digging into this investigation into Australian supermarket butters, and honestly, what I've found is pretty shocking. Some of the biggest names out there are selling products that are, well, a pale imitation of the real thing.
And look, I'm not just being dramatic. The investigation that inspired this explainer put it perfectly. It's a total minefield out there. You've got companies using all sorts of clever packaging and sneaky marketing to push these frankly inferior products. And I think it's about time we all learned how to spot the fakes.
So that's the big question, isn't it? Are you paying a premium for real butter, or are you just falling for some really clever marketing? Well, don't worry, because by the end of this, you're going to have the answer. We're going to count down the top 10 absolute worst offenders you can find on Aussie shelves. You'll know exactly which ones to leave right where they are. Let's kick things off with number 10.
All right, coming in at number 10 is a familiar one for a lot of us. Aldi's Butterfly. I mean, it's cheap, it's easy, you just grab it. But the investigation uncovered a really simple but kind of shocking problem. It has a ton of water in it. Yeah, you're literally paying for watered-down butter.
So, get this. The investigators took a standard 250-gram block and melted it down. And you know what happened? Almost 40 milliliters of it just, poof, evaporated. That was all water. That's a huge chunk. It means you're paying for a full block, but you're only getting about 210 grams of actual butter. You're being shortchanged right from the start.
Okay, number 9. It's the Coles brand Spreadable. And you know the one. The packaging is all yellow and buttery looking, sitting right there next to the real stuff. But here's the dirty little secret. That word, spreadable, it's basically code for a cheap blend of butter and vegetable oils. It's closer to margarine than you think.
I mean, just look at the difference here. On one side, you've got this long laundry list of ingredients for the spreadable blend, butter, canola oil, other vegetable oils, water, and on the other side, real butter. What's in it? Cream and salt. That's it. This whole spreadable thing is just a clever way for them to make more money by selling you a cheaper product disguised as convenience.
All right, number 8 is a big one, Western Star. This stuff is everywhere. A lot of cafes and restaurants use it, but if you actually look closely at the label, you'll see it has added flavoring and color. And trust me, that is a major red flag when it comes to butter.
So why does that matter? Well, think about it. Real top-quality butter doesn't need any help. That rich, creamy flavor and that beautiful golden color, that's supposed to come naturally from the cream of cows that eat grass. So when you see added flavors or beta-carotene, which is just for color, it's basically them admitting that the cream they're using isn't that great. It's a dead giveaway that it's probably from grain-fed cows.
Coming in hot at number 7, we've got the Woolworths Essentials butter. Now, the investigation found that in blind taste tests, this one came dead last. Apparently, it's just bland. But honestly, the taste is the least of its problems. The real issue is that it's just completely unreliable when you're trying to cook with it.
So apparently, independent tests found that the fat content can sometimes drop below the legal 80% standard here in Australia. Now that might not sound like a big deal, but if you bake, you know it's huge. It's why your cookies might spread into a giant mess, or why your sauces keep splitting. The investigator even mentioned trying to make hollandaise sauce with it, and it failed 3 times. That kind of thing will drive you crazy in the kitchen. Okay, next on the list is Devondale Spreadable. And yeah, it's a similar story to the Coles one. It's basically butter cut with cheap vegetable oils. But what makes this one so much worse, what really gets me, is the pricing. It is just so cheeky.
Look at this. They're charging you almost the exact same price for this processed blend as they do for their actual pure butter. It makes no sense. Devondale is a brand people trust for good quality dairy, right? So this just feels like a total slap in the face to anyone who's loyal to them.
All right, we're into the top 5, and this one might be controversial. It's Lurpak. I know, people love this stuff. It's got that fancy premium European vibe, and it definitely has the price tag to go with it. But when you actually break it down, that prestige costs you more than just money. First off, it's coming all the way from Denmark.
And what does that mean? It means by the time it gets to your toast, it could be months old after sitting on a ship and then in a warehouse. You're literally paying double for the fancy foil and the idea that it's European, not because it's actually better. Let's be real. Fresh butter made right here in Australia is almost always going to be a better choice, and you're supporting local farmers. It's a no-brainer.
Number 4. This one comes from across the ditch, a New Zealand brand that's all over our supermarkets, Mainland Buttersoft. Now, its whole gimmick is that it's soft and spreadable right out of the fridge. But how they do that? Well,
that's the problem. The main issue? It's loaded with palm oil.
And look, leaving aside the huge environmental problems with palm oil for a second, it just tastes bad. It makes the butter taste greasy. It leaves this weird oily film on the roof of your mouth, and when it melts, it's not silky and creamy, it's just slippery. The investigator even said they made scrambled eggs with it and had to throw them in the bin because all they could taste was cheap oil. Yuck.
Okay, we're in the top 3 now. And this is where the deception gets dialed up to 11. At number 3, we have Flora Plant Butter. And I need to be super clear about this. This is not butter. It's a highly processed spread made from vegetable oils, and the packaging is 100% designed to trick you into thinking it's the real deal.
I mean, let's just go back to basics for a second. What is butter? It's a dairy product. It's made from cream that's been churned. Simple. Flora, on the other hand, is a mix of vegetable oils, water, emulsifiers, those are things that hold oil and water together, and preservatives. It's something created in a lab. They are not the same thing, not even close.
Which brings us to the runner-up for the worst butter offender in Australia. Number 2 is Nuttelex Buttery. And if you thought Flora was bad, the investigation calls this one even more cynical, even more dishonest.
The deception here is just off the charts. First, the packaging, the gold foil, the block shape, it's all designed so you'll grab it by mistake thinking it's butter. Then, get this, it actually has milk solids in it, so it's not even properly plant-based for people who need that. And to top it all off, it tastes artificial and plasticky. Let's call it what it is. This is just old-school margarine in a new deceptive costume.
And here it is, the number 1 worst butter product on the shelves in Australia. And this one hurts. It's Bega Dairy Soft. The investigation says this one makes you genuinely angry. And I get it. Bega is supposed to be this iconic, trusted Australian brand. This product feels like a total betrayal. Just look at the breakdown. It's just 60% butter. 60! The other 40% is canola oil and water. People pick this up, they see the Bega name, and they think they're buying great Aussie butter and supporting our dairy industry. But they're not. They're buying a watered-down oil blend. And the packaging looks almost identical to their real butter. That's not an accident. It's predatory. It's designed to fool you.
So, okay, after all that bad news, what can you actually do about it? It's actually really simple. I want you to remember the 2-ingredient rule. Step 1, completely ignore everything on the front of the pack. All the buzzwords, the pretty pictures, ignore it. Step 2, flip it over and read the ingredients list. And step 3, you are looking for 2 words and 2 words only. Cream and salt. That's it. If you see that, you've got real butter.
So next time you're at the supermarket, just take an extra 30 seconds. Read the label. I promise you'll end up with something that tastes better, your cooking will thank you for it, and you'll have the peace of mind of knowing you're eating actual, real food.